Hello, and welcome to Frank's School. Same day, second video, same shirt. Here I am again. This may not be quite so hard to follow as that last video, but related to the last video, I left this on here. My terrible drawing of a floor, the point being that if it were completely out of square, well, you establish square in the middle and work toward the outside. And the what runs wild is covered then by the baseboard. And this is the way floors are done, tiles are done. And just recently, last week, my son and I put vinyl flooring on upstairs. And that was a case in point, actually. I have very little experience with vinyl flooring. But I knew that I had to lay it in such a way. Because if there had been no tolerance, then you get bubbles, they're called, or waves. The vinyl has to be fastened and then have a way to run out. And what you don't do is you don't fasten it on the outside edge, because then it has no way to run out. Well, later I'll maybe say more about vinyl flooring and even vinyl as a material in terms of extreme recycling and kilocalories as currency. But anyway, I said it would be a little easier today. My daughter and Daniel, who was, as I said before, was not feeling well that day, had a long-term illness. We walked along the Bisse, Massaweg. Massaweg is the name of the Bisse that we walked along. I had not... I didn't have batteries for my camera or something. I could not use my camera, so there are no videos, only still photos. My daughter Erica, her pictures have to tell that story, and I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But bisses, I'm not ready to completely go into a discussion of bisses, but I do want to show you a collection of the part of a collection of books I have. Here's a book written way in England. These are not bisses, but to give you an idea of how hard I tried to study this. In 1610, that's like Shakespeare's time, yeah. It was about the use of water in fields in England, but these are not bisses. In England, it was there was another issue. But I was, well, let me save these two for last. Here's a book that I got on the first time I tried to find bisses by driving all the way to Austria, Innsbruck and back. I did find this book about them in Südtirol, is southern Tyrol, and Massaweg, that's the Tyrolean word for bisses, and Wege is paths. And this book shows many illustrations of paths in the Tyrol where you can walk along bisses. Later I'll show that more to you. This is in German. Here's a book in French, Au Pays des Bisses. Fairly, well, it's not a famous book, but you could probably get this. Of course, you'd have to read French. Ah, look at that. Well, I said that was I didn't realize that was in there. I'll have to look at this and show you maybe tomorrow a little bit more about that. My library is all disoriented because I'm building new shelves. But anyway, these two books I really wanted to show you. Here is one. I had lost this until today, this morning. I found it. The Bisses of Valais, written in English. Written in English. There's the French-speaking part of Valais, and there's Valais. I was right up in here. The Bisses of Valais, written by Guy Bratt, 1995, published by the author. This would probably be a rather difficult book to get, but it was given to me by Edith. In English it looks like Edith Leiggener. You know, I've spoken about the Swiss hospitality. hospitality in general on this trip that I made, my tour d'Europe. And here was a great example of it. She did not know me before this. I was there with some students. Oh, later I could maybe tell you more about Edith. I missed her this trip. Her daughter and son-in-law were at the hotel. They run the hotel now, Hotel Bahnhof. I'll tell you more about that later. But anyway, and she also gave me this. This was written, I believe, by a relative of hers, German, Wasser kostbares Nass, costly need, water, priceless or costly need. And here, I think, well, it's signed by the author, locally produced. So this is part of my collection. All right, now, in the videos that you're going to see, if you watch these, the slideshow, it is too long. I know that. It's 20 minutes long. I maybe could have made the timing go faster, but I decided to leave it like that. My purpose was not to make a masterpiece for the average viewer, but to be sure I got the details, and so that I could study the details. What's lacking that I miss so much is not so much my talking as I go, but the smells and the sounds, the roar of that water. What we, if you wanted to go there, you would head toward Bellalp, or better, Blatten. From the Brieg train station, you'd get on a postal bus, ride the postal bus up to Blatten, and there you would begin to walk along a Wanderweg. And you'll see signs of these Wanderwege. They go all over Switzerland. There are thousands of miles, I'm sure, of Wanderwege, paths meant to wander on. They are wonderful. A couple other things to tell you, as if you are patient and you get past the part where we go below the dam that's below the longest glacier in Europe, the Aletsch Glacier. This is the water outlet under that glacier. And we go past that, and we go past that dam, and eventually we come out around the shoulder, and you begin to be able to see more what it is like to walk along a Bisse. At first there's no water in the Bisse. Those dams in Switzerland, they disrupted so many of the Bisses. Further on, you'll eventually see water in the Bisse, but that water is being fed then from a different way. So for part of it, we're walking along the access road to the dam. There is a chain there. Sometimes it would look so scary and so dangerous if you got dizzy. There is a chain that you could hold on to. That was not the case when Jane and I walked the Bisse de Haut back in 1990 or so, or about that time. Or no, 99 I guess it was. So as long as you can grab that chain, you're okay walking along these. Far below, you'll see the Brieg train station. The water at one point is so gray and milky looking. Well, that's not pollution. That's called glacial milk. That water is carrying so much sediment from the grinding of the glacier that it looks like that. And if you wash your hands in it, it feels almost like soap because of that very, very fine glacial milk. Now, it makes the fields very fertile as well. Our destination for the walk was a Luftbahn. That's an air train, an aerial. I always get puzzled on the word for that. An aerial tramway. That's how we got back down to the valley floor, and you'll see it in the distance. The last video that you'll see is a cat ladder, made just so a cat could get in and out of the home. All right, I guess the one other thing I wanted to tell you is that, you know, this, as I said before, is one of the most beautiful places on earth, in my opinion. And when I was there, I had this feeling. I didn't have my camera. I had it, but I couldn't film. And I sort of calmed down and just enjoyed it. My daughter was walking a bis. I had wanted that to happen. And I myself wasn't frantic with excitement in being in such a beautiful place. Rather, I just felt good and calm to be reminded that there is such a place as that. And many others in that part of Switzerland as well. Well, I hope you enjoy the slideshow. I recommend that you either speed it up or jump, unless you like every picture, that you skip to maybe midway and not try to look at the whole 20 minutes of it. All right, that takes care of it today. We'll see you next time.